late, but we have a training right after this too, so I don't want to waste any time. So this is going to be really, really informal. I wanted to just take a second to chat about reports. This is the time of the year, the holiday season. You're going to hear me talk about this a lot because if you can get it down, every holiday season to come, you will know exactly what to do. Okay. The holiday season is the time of the year that for some people might be banging because they have new people. But for most people, you're going to see this kind of little dip. Okay. Now it is a unique season because it's actually not a permanent dip. Like you might panic right now being like, oh my gosh, people are turning off their orders. Where is everybody going? They're never going to come back. They're going to come back. Just right now, they're busy like shoving their faces with Trader Joe's peppermint bread. I just cooked some of that up in my own kitchen and nobody's thinking about their supplements. Okay. That's just what happens. It happens every single year, like clockwork, you guys. Okay. So, one of the things that you can do during the season is get really in tune with your reports and stay on top of your people. Okay. When I'm talking about your people, I mean both types of people. Ambassadors can go into hibernation mode because who wants to work when you can go through touring Christmas lights, right? And then customers, they're eating the chocolate peppermint bread. You know what I'm saying? So you want to stay on top of all your people, and your reports is where you want to be at. Specifically, we had a couple hiccups at the beginning of the month with auto ships. I know that has been brought to my attention a couple of times, in Casey's too. And so we were just chatting earlier that it would be a good idea to kind of talk about the reports that are most helpful for keeping as much volume as you can through the holiday season, and also staying in contact with people, because here's what can happen. Sometimes people will shut their orders off and we don't talk to them. And so when January rolls around, they're not going to turn their orders back on, right? Because you've said nothing to them. You haven't talked to them. Or ambassadors who get really busy over the holiday season, January rolls around and maybe they go join a different business with people who have been pouring into them over the holiday season. So I'm going to screen record with you. I'm going to try not to show you guys anybody's personal information. The best that I can. So talking the basics, right? We're talking the basics. Report Center. You do not have this unless you have the Pro Office subscription. Okay. The Pro Office subscription is $49.95. You get 20 PV out of it, so it counts towards your 100 PV. If you are elite and above, in my opinion, this is a non-negotiable thing. I believe it falls into tax write-off bracket. Don't quote me on that, but we can ask maybe Craig LeBeau or Casey might know that. But for certain, it goes into your 100 PV. So if you are brand spanking new, you get the first 30 days of this for free where you can access it all. After that, you would pay your $49.95 to access your report center. Now, if you're brand new and you have not necessarily grown like a massively huge team, or you don't have tons of orders yet, you can always ask your upline to run one of these short reports for you. You can even do it really simply looking in looking at your tree in your back office to see where different orders are coming from. I recommend the report center. I just feel like it makes it easier. So if you have the Pro Office subscription, the way that you would find that is going to your business resources right here, and then bada bing, bada boom, report center. So two different little toolbars are going to pop up. You're going to have your reports. These are reports that you actually make, or sometimes they're pre-made for you. Like I know my business account manager will make reports for me sometimes, and they'll pop up in here. You can also create your own report. Not going into that tonight. We don't have enough time. Play around with it though. You can make a lot of cool stuff, and it's just really kind of cool that we have all these resources. I use this tab hands down the most. This is your quick reports. These are pre-designed reports that will just populate as soon as you click on them to make them. Okay. So all of these are very helpful for different reasons, but the two that we're going to talk about tonight are Autoship Quick Report and Month Over Month PV Report. Okay, they're similar but different. Your Autoship Quick Report is going to pull up every person ever in your back office. It's going to give you all this info. I'm not going to go over to the right because it's going to start showing more personal information. But when you go over to the right and you scroll this way, it'll show you their last auto ship, what they ordered on that last auto ship, if they have a current auto ship, what their current personal volume is. All of this information is super helpful. I run this report at the beginning of the month, on the 16th of the month, and then usually like the last couple days of the month. You can just export them. So in the top right-hand corner over here, you have these 3 little dots. If you click on this, I have to log back out and log back in, but it'll say export. Export will be one of the options on this little toolbar. The other really cool thing that you can do if you're trying to look in a specific leg of your business, like if I was trying to see where are all the auto ships at in Marissa's leg, Marissa Winterton is the top of my very first leg. I can actually type Marissa Winterton in, and now the same exact report is being processed, but it's only showing me all of the auto ships that are in that one leg of my business. If you have a placement leg, using this is going to be your best friend, because a lot of times you're having to keep up with volume that's outside of that bigger placement leg. And so what you'll want to do is view your Autoship quick report, starting with the top person in your non-placement leg. Okay. So that's a really helpful tool, the view as. When you export this to your computer, depending on what type of computer you have, you'll be able to kind of rearrange things. So I have an Apple computer. That's what I'm going to be talking about. But I think most of what I'm saying also kind of transfers over to like PowerPoint, or not PowerPoint, Excel, if you were to export it into Excel. So these little things, can you guys see my cursor? Okay, so these little tops of the columns up here, you can click on these and reorganize it. Okay, so when I export my Autoship quick report into my actual computer, it opens up with the Excel version of Apple's version of Excel. And what I do is I go to the column that says personal volume, and I click on it so that it pulls every account that has 0 volume to the top. Okay, so now what I'm looking at on that report is everybody who has no volume on their account, no volume. Okay, you also can do this with the auto ship column. So again, I'm not going to go over too far, but I'm going to try and, oops, no. Okay, good. So if you go over just a little bit, oh, it's not going to let me. What's happening here? There we go. If you go over just a little bit, you can see auto ship, next auto ship volume, or next auto ship date. You can also organize by that. What you're looking for, you guys, is people who haven't had their auto ship run this month, or people who have turned their auto ship off. Okay. It's going to pull you into 2 categories, right? Because it's going to show you your customer type here. Ambassadors, retail customers, and preferred customers, they're all going to pull up. So you can also filter by customer type. You could do the customer type filter, and you can look at just your ambassadors and see, okay, which of my ambassadors don't have their 100 PV auto ship on, right? You're trying to locate people that you can go talk to say, hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up and make sure you knew that you didn't have your 100 PV auto ship on. That's actually what makes our accounts commission qualified to be payable here. Can I help you get that set back up? Or if you're going to a preferred customer, maybe that preferred customer is showing 0 in volume in that PV column, right? So you can go to them and you can look at their account on this report and see that last month they had 40 PV. So you can send them a message. Hey, I wanted to check in, see how your products were going. I noticed that you didn't have an auto ship set up yet. We actually have a really incredible rewards program. Have you gotten the information on that? You get free products just by having what you're already using on a monthly order. Okay, so that's what I use my Autoship quick report for. At the 1st of the month, the 16th of the month. Why the 16th? It's the day after all of our auto ships have ran. And then the last few days of the month, I honestly will pull this a few times depending on what's happening. And I'm looking for accounts that have no volume, accounts that have no auto ship on, right? This is also the report when you guys see the chats that we do, when we say you have to have 100 PV running between the 1st and the 5th to be a part of this chat. This report is where we're pulling that information on to double check that people are having that 100 PV on their account. Hands down, in my opinion, this is the most versatile report that you could pull out of your back office. So when all else fails, pull your auto ship report and know that whatever you're needing to find is probably in that report. If you have questions specifically on what to find or where to go for things, message your Silver upline or Casey or me or anyone who can help you with that. We can give you kind of more specific details because this is kind of a broad training. The second report that I'm going to recommend that you pull now is the perfect time is your month over month PV report. This one, I really have to make sure I stay to the left side. Your month over month PV report. Okay, I'm going to click off of it in a second. It's over here in this column. It pulls the report up. Now I'm going to click off of it so that I don't show anybody's stuff. That report is going to specifically show you people who ordered last month, but have not ordered yet this month. Okay. So the reason that this report is very helpful is I know for myself, I have a lot of people who order every single month, not on an auto ship. Okay. So when you're pulling that auto ship quick report, it's not going to be as helpful identifying, okay, well, this person shows no auto ship, but like, I know they order every month, right? If you specifically pull that month over month PV report, it's going to show you these are all of the people who ordered the previous month that have not ordered in the current month yet. Okay. It's very quick info. It's not going to backdate further than the previous month. So like today, when I pulled this report, it's going to show me, it's going to show me all of the people who ordered in October that have not yet ordered in November. And this is really helpful because it's a quick place to go. Okay. We're always talking about low hanging fruit, right? Where can you get the most bang for your buck when you're talking about time spent in your business? Okay. This auto ship quick report is going to pull a lot of information, but if you're like, I have 15, 20 minutes to get some messages out, and I'm trying to recoup volume from my back office, the quickest place to go is that month over month PV report, because what you're seeing is people who have most recently ordered in your organization that haven't yet placed their order this month. I would pull that report tonight. I would work down that list. Things that you want to do when you're talking to these people. First of all, you need to identify, are they a customer or are they an ambassador? Because you're going to approach it differently. If this is a customer, number one, I would make sure that you are checking in on them. If you have not talked to them about how they are enjoying their product so far, that should be the very first thing that you're talking about. How is it going? What are you liking about your products? What doses are you taking, right? Q Core packets, you guys, are wonderful because you don't have to think about dosing. But some of our other products like the Vitalize, right? That's 5 capsules. And if they're not taking the 5 capsules, they're not going to get the proper benefit of that product. So what dose are you taking? How long have you been using it? What have you been noticing? Check in on those customers. And what I purposely would do today or like through the rest of this week is I would talk to them about Q's Black Friday. I would be bringing up things like, oh my gosh, I wanted to reach out because Q is doing an early Black Friday sale this week. It's going to be so awesome. Maybe you tell them about a few of the things that we know are coming, like the new collagen cream or the kids sport drink. You kind of like dangle a little carrot, right? It's going to be so awesome. Do you want me to let you know when everything drops? Okay. Or if it's someone who does not have an auto ship on, which if they are on that report, it means they don't, you can remind them. We have a really wonderful rewards program for our customers. Make sure they're liking their products before you start talking to them about setting up an auto ship. Okay. If you're going to someone and you're like, hey, let's get you on an auto ship. I want you to order these products every month. And they're like, actually, I hate the taste of this and I never want to drink it again, which could totally happen because everybody has different taste buds. That is not going to be the proper approach, right? Because now they're like, ooh, she just wants me to order. She doesn't even care if I like it. Right? Versus if you reached out to them checking in on the products and they were like, you know what? I actually don't like the flavor of this Q Dragon Sport. You could say, oh my gosh, well, we actually have a different flavor. We have 2 other options. We have this key lime grape that people like, and we also have this dragonberry. Shoot, is that what it's called? Dragonberry? Dragonberry? I'm like second guessing. Okay, whatever. You guys know what I mean. We also have this dragon flavor that is like so good. Maybe you would like one of those better, right? And so now it doesn't feel like you're just trying to get a sale. It feels like you're trying to make a solution. But either way, you are able to find those people on these 2 reports, you guys. Okay, 2 reports, auto ship quick report month over month PV report. The one that I feel like you should start with tonight or like tomorrow is that month over month PV report. Start there. It's going to give you a smaller group of people to start with. You're going to work your way down the list. Remember, customers and ambassadors need different approaches. And also remember that if this is someone who's removed from you by like 15 levels, you're probably not the person that should send them a message. Okay. So when you're pulling this report from your back office, you're pulling your month over month PV report, that is going to show you every account in your back office that has ordered last month and not yet this month. Well, you might have Billy Bob Thornton on there who is level 75 to you, and you don't even know the person who signed Billy Bob Thornton up. Don't message that person. Go to their sponsor first. Go to their sponsor first and say, hey, I just pulled this report. I noticed that Billy Bob Thornton is on there. It looks like you signed them up. And I just wanted to check in. How are they doing? Are they liking their products? Have you talked to them recently? They haven't ordered yet this month. I'm wondering if maybe they know that they can get the rewards program. I'm wondering if maybe you've talked to them about the Q Black Friday, right? You want to be the linchpin between those people for a couple of reasons. You're probably not going to get a response from Billy Bob Thornton if he's level 75 to you and you've never even talked to them a day in their life. They're going to be like, this feels spammy. And number two, if you are going to the sponsor first, you are encouraging duplication of this process, right? You're teaching them, hey, this is something that we should be doing with our business, is pulling these reports and checking in on these orders so that we're recouping that volume. This is a really good lesson, especially for new ambassadors working this business, that volume, the little 12 PV for a sleep spray, 45 PV from a greens or whatever it is, that's probably not right, but those add up. So when you pull that month over month PV report, you can really see that. You can see how much that volume would add up. To give you an example, being transparent, me pulling my month over month PV report, it is thousands in volume, you guys, from little orders here and there and here and there and here and there. Okay. Reports. If you don't have the Pro Office subscription yet, and you need to have this pulled, go to your sponsor, ask them, they can help you out. I think it takes like 24 hours for it to usually catch up on your account. So even if you subscribe to it tonight, you might not be able to pull this report. So ask your sponsor and they can process it for you and send it over to you guys. Does anybody have any questions on reports? Okay. How many people already pull their reports like frequently? Okay. Habits, get in a habit of it. They're so helpful, you guys. Like seriously, it's also very helpful because you can almost immediately see what needs help in your business. Like just by pulling the report up, you could be like, oh, dang, like maybe I'm not duplicating auto ships very well in this leg because what I'm seeing here is this specific leg has a lot of auto ships off for ambassadors. Or, ooh, maybe I didn't properly teach this person how to follow up with their customers because this specific person has a lot of customers that don't have auto ships on or that are not reordering. And so you can take that, introspect, right? And say, I could improve my business by doing this better. And you can see that in a report. It's really cool. Okay, that's all I have for you tonight. I hope it was helpful. I will upload this to YouTube and drop it into a couple of the chats, but also you can just go on my YouTube, Amanda Klentz, and find them. And we have a training right after this at 5, where I'm going to talk about 10 things that are going to be really helpful. It's Technique Tuesday. Bye, guys.